on. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. I'm excited. So what are we working on today?
I'd really like to work on depression.
Okay.
I don't really go anywhere, do a whole lot. I've been really trying to push myself, but it's really hard sometimes.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate it? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the most severe in this moment.
I would say an 8.
An 8. Okay. Let's do it. We will have a quick moment of silence and we'll get to it. All right, can I just proxy for you? Yes. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this depression? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Self-abuse. When did this occur? 10 to 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this depression? Maybe even 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this 10 to 9, 8, 7, age 7? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this depression? Maybe even 2, 4. Hatred. When did this 10 to 9, 8, 7, age 7? Did something happen to you at age 7? Do you remember?
I don't even know. I've kind of been through a lot of stuff throughout my life, so nothing really sticks out to me, but it's definitely possible.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's ask, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this depression? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Grief. When did this 18 age 18? Do we need to know more about this? No? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this depression? Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When did this pretend to 9? Age 9. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we release that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this depression? Maybe 2, 4. Even out of 1, 3. Rejection. When did this 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this depression? Maybe even 2, 4. Depression. When did this occur? 10 to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 4. Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this depression? Maybe even out of 1, 3. Defensiveness. When did this 10 to 9, 8, 7, 6, age 6? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this depression? Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When did this 10, 20, age 20? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release? Depression. Maybe even 2. Failure. When did this 10, 20, 30, 7, 6, 5, age 35? We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion? All right, go ahead and stand up. Walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around, give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, after a really big deep breath, how do you rate the depression that you feel?
I would say maybe a 6 or 5.
So we'll do 5.5. It's interesting. I feel something from you that I haven't felt for a really long time. And it's like a gut to gut cording, which is basically like a trauma bond. And it feels like a father figure that you've had since maybe childhood. And it's like somebody just being very critical of you, and it's almost like you get that gut feeling of like oh, I did something wrong, or like, oh, I'm not good enough. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, it definitely does. My mom was a narcissist, and I kind of married a narcissist. I'm divorced now, and my dad and my stepmom have been very kind of like judgmental, critical. I mean, just not very easy on me in any aspect, really. Like, just feel like I can't live up to anybody's standards. So I guess that's definitely been a hindrance, you know. So yeah, definitely. But
That
yeah.
makes sense. So we're actually going to go ahead and release that cording for you. So it's a gut to gut. So gut to gut cordings are basically, did we release that? Yes. So gut to gut cordings are, it's like that feeling of like you have to walk on eggshells around their emotions, and you're like, I don't know what he's going to say next. I'm just like, it's almost like you're trying to avoid them at all costs, or like them. It's almost like you have to be connected to them in order to like predict, like prepare yourself for like what's coming. Does that make sense?
It totally does.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's release this other gut to gut cording with your mom. And then there's also one more, which is with mom. And then this next one is called a brain to brain cording. It's like that feeling of like you feel like there's a lot of manipulation, control, gaslighting, lying. You feel like they're just like sending you all of these negative thoughts, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, like all of that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and release that brain to brain. Did we correct that? Is there another cording that we need to release now? Okay, so go ahead and take one more big deep breath. Like breathe into your stomach, like into your pelvic area. Sorry about my dog. He's always getting comfortable in his kennel. Do you want to close the door? Sorry. Go ahead and take one more big deep breath into the pelvic area. All right, how does that depression feel? Thank you.
It's crazy how I guess it's a relief and at the same time it's kind of sad that somebody can pick up on all that. So
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sure you feel really called out. I'm so sorry, but at the same time, it's so good that we were able to release all of that. Oh, it's Cordings is like my absolute favorite. Chef's kiss, like release that stuff. Thank you. And it's really incredible. So it really does a lot for you. But yes. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you rate the depression? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I rated it initially at a 8, and it's probably like maybe 4 or 5 right now. Honestly, like it feels like a big relief, like a weight was lifted. So that's awesome.
Yay! But okay, going from an 8 to like a 4 or 5, that's almost in half.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so cool. So, any questions that you have for me?
Um, no, not at this point. I'll definitely hit you up if I have more questions. That's for sure. I guess
Awesome.
I'm more kind of like more stunned right now.
Like, what did you just do to me?
Well, no, it's also like
Yes.
you kind of can't wait until the next day to really see how much more it's affected you in a positive way. So, I guess that's what I'm looking forward to, which I haven't had that looking forward to the next day for a long time. So, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, of course. Are you okay if I put this on my YouTube channel?
Absolutely, of course.
Thank you. Awesome. It was a pleasure to work with you, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.